Good evening,
That's-
everybody. I had to
Where did
start.
that
I had to
Scotland
start it
piece
bad.
come from?
That was a banner from.
Scotland!
I did that last week. It was great. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Shunting Yard Live. I'm joined with my co-host Hilton. Say hi, Hilton.
Hello, James, and hello, Rob.
And Rob. Say hello, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
We're starting that well. God, this is going diabolical. I came up with a load of things that I thought I might want to say, to start making it a little bit more mainstream. It's just gone down the toilet with that Scotland thing.
I just want to, Jay, you just said that we're the co-hosts, so that means that we're not. Is this a model rail replacement podcast thing now?
No, unfortunately, we are all co-hosting. We all co-host each other. This is not a one primary and one secondary. This is all of us sharing equal responsibility for its failure.
I like that view. That's great.
Well, yeah, that is a good one. I like that, James. Nice.
So, I mean, I could go full, oh no, I produced this. You guys are just here, but no, that's not how it works. We support each other on the Shunting
We
Yard.
do. Brotherhood of Chaos.
Right, who have we got in the chat today? I've completely derailed it already. Phil, thank you very much for joining us. Charlie's here as well. Hello. Johnny's here as well. Maud, #Maud when.
Soon, Johnny.
Soon, Johnny. Soon. Lukash is joining us as well. Aaron, of course. Good morning, Aaron. Thunderblade 989 is here as well. This is going to
Thunderblade 989.
Derek, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Oliver, it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much. And thank you for your message over the week. Really, really did put a smile on my face when we had that brief chat. So thank you. Annie's joining us from the other room.
Yeah, she's just over there.
She's just over there. Dave is in. Train Guy, hello. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. So, before we get into the regularly scheduled chaos, what have you guys been up to this week? Rob, other than dying, apparently.
Well, I've had COVID, so I took the chance to run some trains. Pretty much, I haven't really done any modelling because I genuinely didn't have the energy. So I just sat in here and let the trains go around for a couple of hours.
Was that James Franco meme? First time, huh?
First time.
No, my first time.
No, I'm
What about
also-
you, James?
Okay,
I have been fixing 2 locomotives.
Oh,
So I was doing some CV tinkering with the Night Owl, and I think I've got it to a place that I'm happy with. The same with the King. I think I've got that a lot closer than what it was beforehand. So now I
Nice.
just
Good
need to
stuff.
wait. I need to wait for my friend to get back from the UK, and then me to get back from the UK, so I can go and give them some really long running sessions. Evening, Matt. Thank you very much for joining us. And I've started looking at your little tank, Rob. It's
oh
an
yeah.
dumpster fire.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to rewire it.
Oh, that bad, right?
I put it on the track, and it shorted the entire system out instantly.
James was like, "This
It
is
does it
potentially
properly?
a bomb. This is
Genuinely,
potentially very
genuinely.
dangerous."
So yeah, that was what
Slovakia
I was.
is going to think they're under attack.
Well, strange things have happened. The bin as it's hell. No. It
Well,
runs
that's
lovely.
rude.
It
That's
runs
very
lovely.
rude.
I'm almost tempted to rescind my previous statements unless I buy an O2, and then they can prove me right again. Anyway, Hilton, what have you been up to this week? Lots, according to your YouTube.
Mountains, Gandalf. Mountains.
Mountains, Gandalf. Yes, we'll see some more of those mountains later.
Will we?
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
Okay. Yeah, I've been doing the heather on the mountains, and yeah, if you haven't seen my video, it's up on YouTube. Went live yesterday, and then I've started working on some trees now, which you can kind of see here. There's a couple of them, but there's like an entire forest over there. So that will be upcoming.
Lovely. Well, there you go. See, trees, trees, and more trees. How many trees are you gonna
I
make?
love the green stuff. I love the green stuff. I'm currently sitting on like 50. So my intention is to probably triple that at least.
Jesus.
I mean, you see, the thing is with trees, and we're going to jump off a little bit here, but I think the thing with trees is often a layout doesn't have enough trees to be realistic. Trees need to be like really dense because they don't just appear as like ones and twos by themselves. You know, you have full forests, and I think it's important to make sure that that comes to life. So yeah, thanks, bro. I love my bush too. I don't, Aaron. I don't touch that stuff. Just the scenery.
No. Just the static grass.
I love
static grass. I love static grass.
I've been pulling it out of my teeth because I'm like, I'm shaking it up and it's everywhere over this room, and I'm like,
you're not supposed to eat it.
Come from? I know. I'm not eating it on purpose.
Times have got hard, have they? As it hilt.
Yes, they have.
Just started eating static grass.
All those 37s. All those 37s. Annie has reduced him to eating grass.
It's my punishment.
Yes, it is. So, Dave is asking how long till it derails and we all end up on a replacement bus. Well, not long.
It won't derail as bad as it did last week with a bit of luck.
Yeah, no, we'll be better, I hope. So, as usual, we're going to shift on to the next section. Get your questions in, get your comments in. Let us know what you guys want to add to the topic. But I think we're going to move on to the news.
The news.
Whoa,
The news!
that's amazing.
Look, guys, Hilton did a thing.
We have production value. That was all the budget. That's all the budget, guys. That's it. Done.
This title card, that's it. We're done. Phil says we need the old one back. Yes. The Muse. Yes, the Muse. Okay,
Muse.
so what news have we got this week? We actually have some Engage news that dropped about an hour ago.
Oh, right off the press.
Right off the press. See, we're straight in there with our favorite people in the universe, Rails. So Dapple have given some deco samples of their Engage class 143 and 144 pacers, which I think look rather dashing. Wouldn't have them on any Engage layout I have because, you know, they're all meh. But they look pretty good. What do you guys think?
Is that the is that red one the SPT livery?
It's too pixelated, so ask Rails.
I think it is, but yeah, they look cool, man. They look really
think they
nice.
look great. Yeah.
I think pacers look super boring as like a front look. But
well, they are just buses, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Thunderblade 989 says, brought to you by Rails of Sheffield. Would it be the news if it was not brought to you by Rails of Sheffield? One day we might surprise you and actually go directly to the manufacturers.
We're quite salty about Rails of Sheffield this evening, though, aren't we, lads?
Oh,
are we?
We're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. That's insider knowledge. Join the Patreon that we don't have if you want to know the insider knowledge.
We start a Patreon.
Is that next week? Is it?
Just for fake news. Just for fake news. Johnny says that believe the red and cream is great in Manchester. Didn't have much in regards to paces up in Scotland. We're a culture with taste. Completely agree with you.
Culture and taste where they get our second-hand stuff.
Next,
Robert.
what? What? Don't start.
Right. Continue.
We're 10 minutes in. Don't start. So, Great Western fans, there is reason to be concerned. Akira Scale have announced another delay of the pannier tanks, now expected at Q3. They had some samples back from the factory, and as you can see on the right-hand side, the wiring was an absolute mess.
Yeah, that looks like a dog's breakfast. That looks awful.
Yeah. So from
Not up to Akira Scale's normal standards.
From what I read, they had a different. It was either a different factory or a different set of the same factory were running this model, and they came up with this. So yeah, it's been pushed back. What they've done is they've copied some of their earlier diesels, and they're going with plunger pickups, which allows for an easier next 18 socket and all the space for all the gubbins to be poked in underneath. So I, for one, I'm not happy that there is a delay, but I'm happy it was delayed because the wiring inside was crap.
Yeah, and I think to what Rob said, I don't think this is Akira Scale standard, hence why it's going back. So just so it doesn't sound like we're bashing Akira
No. We're not.
They-
not at all. I'm happy they're pushing this back.
Akira Scale have done the right thing here, because anybody who notices this in their model should immediately say, yeah, we need to put this back. We can't sell this shit to people, you know?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the difference. Look at the difference here. So originally they had what looks like the wiring loom going up to the motor with two separate capacitors looping over the top to probably hide on either side of the panniers. And they've now opted to put the capacitor right underneath the chip. That's great.
Utilizing as much
Unless
space as possible.
It gets too hot.
And we will
I don't
see.
know anything about model trains
We
and how
will
they
see.
work, but cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic design when it rolls out.
So yeah, I'm a bit upset because I was hoping to come back from holiday and have pannier box at my door. Not gonna happen. Gotta wait.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I know. Next up is Bachmann's exclusive Class 69. Is it exclusive, or have I just put that up there for no apparent reason?
No, I think that's exclusive. As no, maybe it is just a special edition. It doesn't
Might
say
just
Rails
be a special
edition.
edition. No, it does not. But either way, they have a GBRF hashtag. It's okay to talk, which it is. It's okay. But they have a Class 69 Andy's Man Club Special Edition of the Class 69 coming out, and I think this livery looks actually rather good. I sort of like it.
So I like it too. I just don't like the typeface that they actually used on the real locomotive, and so that's not Bachmann's problem. I don't like it's a shame we can't really see it closer up, but like the typeface they've used is a sans serif that's very bold, and the letters kind of blend into each other. If you're looking at them as it passes by, you really do need to stop and read it, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's super legible. I think they could have done a better job with the typeface particularly. However, I love the 69 in black. It looks absolutely awesome. And I love that OK logo on the side there. I think that's really cool. I wouldn't buy it myself, but I do think it's a nice piece to have, and it's for a really great cause. So yeah definitely
sure.
Quite cool.
I was very, very tempted just because of the cause. But then I did a Hilton and actually snapped myself out of it and realized I would never ever run it. So it would just be a 212-pound paperweight. A nice
It'll be
looking
your first diesel,
paperweight.
I feel seen. I feel very seen right now.
Whoa. Hang on, Rob, scroll back. My first diesel.
You have a diesel? Oh, Ruston. Right, yeah, of course he has, yeah. Okay, mainline diesel.
Okay.
You can put the
Right.
rest in on the main for fun.
Rob, you asked us to call this out, so do you want to get us up to speed?
Considering there is a lack of anything else news related, I wanted to bring up the massive news that has happened today in regards to the Heritage Railway movement in the UK. This project has been going on for as long as I can remember. It started coming to fruition in just before COVID. But the Great Central Railway have finally got the green light to complete the reunification project. All of it, every single bit of it is now green lit to go ahead, which is amazing. This is
huge.
This is the biggest civil engineering project in the Heritage Railway movement in so long, and it'll make it the second longest heritage railway in the UK.
Next to?
Yeah, I was going to say next to. Is it North Yorkshire or what?
No, the West Somerset's the longest.
West Somerset.
The West Somerset's are 26 miles. This will be 18, which will be a mile longer than the North Yorkshire moors.
Fantastic. Okay,
and it's smack bang in the middle of the country as well. So it's really good location for such a brilliant railway. And
I suppose hence the name. Hey.
No.
Well,
yeah. Wow.
Would you look at that?
Well, it is because it went through the centre of the country. You know, though the West Coast Main Line doesn't exactly go close, doesn't really go to the coast, but the Midland Main Line did actually go straight smack bang down the middle of the country. It actually went through my birth town, Rugby, where I was brought up, and my dad used to watch trains go through Rugby from down the Great Central when he was little. And it's going to be great to see these two railways finally link up to make this amazing 18-mile heritage railway. And there's something to do in Ruddington as well, in Leicester. But no, in Ruddington, Leicester's they were planning to do like a museum thing in Leicester, but I think that got cancelled. But this is just going to make it one of the biggest railways in the country, and I think that's just absolutely fantastic. And couldn't be happier for them.
Rob, I think that if I wasn't excited about it before, after hearing you talk so passionately about it, now I am. Yeah, that was really good. Well done, man.
Really,
I'm stoked.
Really inspiring.
I'm stoked.
Can I just add one thing? It's the second longest standard gauge heritage railway in the UK.
Makes sense, yeah, because somebody pointed out the Welsh Highland.
Yeah.
Dave.
Well, the Welsh. Yeah, the Welsh Highland is and especially if you join it with the Festiniog, I think that's a good 40-odd mile heritage railway. But in terms of standard gauges, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, no, it's really is amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I might even make the journey over when and if it gets grand opening. Yeah, I think it's got to be done. I think on that kind of occasion to have that sort of unification, I think it needs to be. It'll
be a massive thing.
Yeah. So there you are, Great Central Railway unification, absolutely amazing.
Love it.
Love it. Rob, your second piece of news.
The Seven Valleys opening full length again. Yay!
I mean, that was quick.
This happened in January, and because the insurance, it's gone through insurance, and it was all pretty much the whole thing was covered. They've literally ploughed through it, and it's going to be open by the end of July, all the way to Bridge North. So that's two civil engineering projects that are just going to be just kicking off within the last couple of months, and it's just heritage railway movement at the moment is just absolutely booming, which is great to see.
Yep. Yeah, really, really good.
That is amazing. I'm so curious about how they're going to do that. Is it a concrete structure that they're putting underneath it? What are the next steps here? Do you know?
I believe the first step is to put in the wing wall for the bridge that you can see just the bottom of that picture, and then they're just going to backfill it. I believe the wing wall is what collapsed.
I see. Okay.
Which made all the landslip fall, but it's just amazing what happens when insurance pull their finger out.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Hilton knows all about that.
Nail on the head. Dave's hitting the nail on the head here. Like, this is embarrassing for Network Rail.
Yeah. It takes them months and months and months to do groundwork, yet Heritage Railway's doing it in like a month. So,
It's insane. Really is insane. No, it's fantastic news. My only concern is being done at the end of July. They're going to make a big thing out of it. And I'm worried that there's going to be the same issue that we get every summer, where there's going to be fires, there's going to be line side issues, things
James,
like that.
they're
And I
already
hope
making
it
a big
doesn't.
deal out of it because they've
know.
got that thing turning up instead of letting Hagley Hall do it.
Don't. I know. I saw that announcement and I was like, really?
I think it's fantastic. It
I
really
think
is absolutely brilliant.
I think it's great, but like,
It's great to get the punters in, but
yeah,
the thing is that Hagley Hall opened the full line when it was first built. It would have made sense to let Hagley Hall do it again.
I'm with Rob on this.
So hear me out, guys, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. But if this line has been suffering financially with the collapse of this wall, and they need money to get things back on track again, and they bring the Flying Scotsman to do it, and the people come because the Flying Scotsman there, then I'm afraid it can't be bad for the SVR. I'm sorry that your precious hall is not running, but at least the SVR will get some money back.
It is running. But did you know that the tickets sold out for all the Flying Scotsman services on that first day in 3 minutes?
Brilliant. Love that. Don't you love that? Because that's
yes,
money for
I
the
do.
SVR.
That's
great
fantastic.
for the railway.
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Both of you anoraks should shut up and just let them do their thing.
Which do you know? A good thing is we have zero say in what goes on, so it doesn't matter what we say. They're not going to listen to us anyway.
No, of course they don't listen to us, but I'm just trying to prove the point. Having Flying Scotsman there to reopen the line,
it sells tickets.
Thing.
Yeah, I understand that, but it doesn't stop this Great Western heart from wishing it was Hagley Hall.
Both of you need to bow at the feet or the wheels of the Great Green Savior, because she is saving you, and one of these railways one step at a time.
True.
Yeah, so there you go. Aaron says it, the People's Engine makes sense.
It makes me wonder what's going to open the GCR.
The Flying Scotsman.
You know, it probably will. Or yes, Cromwell. Yes, of course,
Cromwell.
it's the flagship engine for the Great Central, isn't it?
Yep. They'll have that
That's
on
a
massive freight, barreling it through. Hill has a different idea.
We'll see.
Hilton's going to be over here driving it.
I wish.
So there we have it. I think that's our lot of news. Not really much this week. Anything that was worth it seemed to drop on Wednesday or Thursday last week before the last stream. And then it's just very trickled over the last weekend. So I think we're coming into the summer period, which a lot of modelers say is the dry spell. Because it's hot outside, you end up doing more things. You don't spend time in your lofts or in your basements or something. Hilton,
you took it away. You took that banner away.
What?
No, it's back.
Do we have to have a fight?
Oh no! Are you both in control?
Yes, we are.
Oh god.
So yeah, considering we're coming into the lull part of the year, where it's getting hotter, I think it's where I think it's where actually the hobby changes face. It's where, especially in the UK, the heritage lines come to life. The schools kick out, all the activities start happening, and you get the complete opposite side of the hobby where all of the inspiration comes in. So if you're visiting a heritage line over the summer, let us know. Join the Discord. Have a conversation. Share your photos with us. Share your stories. We'd love to hear them. I would love to hear them because I'm not there and I'm not going.
Same.
Oh,
Cheers to us, bro.
Cheers
sorry,
to
boys.
It's all good. We live vicariously through all of you.
Although I had a fantastic experience over the weekend. So the lads know this. So we had there was an anniversary of the Slovak Railways, and they did a weekend-long special of lots of heritage diesel, electric, and steam locomotives. And they had a mixture of 9 of them traipsing up and down the country the entire weekend. Well, I missed the cavalcade, but I got an awesome glimpse of a Skoda built oil-fired steam locomotive
That's
thundering
cool.
through
That's cool.
our village, and I took my daughter because I thought I'll take her. She'll hold her ears because it'll be stupidly loud, which it was. And I'll just see how she is. And she absolutely loved it. She asked for more. She wants to go see some in the UK. So I'm all good with that. I got some adrenaline. I got hyped. So I can
Where are the
definitely say
pictures? Where are the pictures?
I didn't. I've literally just thought of it off the top of my head now, so I haven't added any. If you want to see some of these pictures, I will stick some up on. I stuck a video up on Instagram, and I'll get some more photos, some more videos thrown up there in the coming days. And also, you can join the Discord. I definitely put some up there as well. Thank you, Phil. It's here. You'll have to copy and paste it, unfortunately, because links don't work in YouTube for some reason.
Don't they?
So
I think you can click on them. You can click on them.
I don't know. I can't click on them here.
You can. Yeah, you can click on them on YouTube.
There you are. So right, we've got one or two statements or questions before we move on to the main segment. So Matt, when are we going to get a Brio range update? I mean, if you supply the news, we'll dictate it.
That would be brilliant.
I had to Google that. I won't lie. I was like, "What the hell is Brio?" And then I was like,
Google
"Oh,
Brio.
You never played Brio?
Brio. No.
What? That was
No.
massive. That's been massive for donkey's years.
No.
That's why I'm different, guys. I'm built
Ow.
different because I didn't play with Brio.
No. Okay, no, that's it. Johnny says Hilton apparently seems to know what he's doing. Sus. Is in the regards to trees and landscaping? Because I sure as heck think he does.
And he confirmed it.
the other day. I said it the other day. I don't like. I sure, okay, I can do this, but like, I still don't really.
Yeah.
I'm not a veteran or anything. I don't know what I'm doing. Also, it's my tagline, so I'm just keeping it. Thanks very much.
No, that's good.
Have a great day. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
You carry on. Actually, you say that. You have technically built one layout and moved to another. You are already a step above a majority of modelers.
I also just
You're
think,
Mark
you know,
II.
it's well, maybe, but I think most people just need to stop lollygagging and bloody build a layout, because so many people tell me that they're thinking about it, and I'm like, well,
They
just
put it
do
off.
it. Just start. I mean, you can mess it up,
do
but
it.
just start, please.
Yes.
Do
yes,
it.
completely
Just
agree.
do it.
And
vodka
last,
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
don't let your dreams be dreams. Russell is saying yes, a Scorch show this year. Going to be a high fire risk, even in the Highlands. Yeah, I've seen numerous reports up and down the country of weather warnings. You know, even a week or so ago.
What is this Scorchio? It sounds like a Spanish invader. Scorchio. You mean scorching? Oh, right. Okay.
I think most heritage railways in the UK at the moment are on diesels only, which is a great way to start off the summer.
Yes, Ollie, I did have a childhood, but I was just born like this with facial hair.
Without
and
Brio.
So.
Without Brio.
He came out looking like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt, you will have to wait for the memes. They are coming, but you have to wait.
Too much malingering.
Oh, we did forget. We forgot. Question: drinks of choice this week, and how long until somebody slips out of their chair again?
Robert.
Robert. Hill,
It's
what
not
are you drinking
happening.
tonight?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking Lafroig tonight.
Lafroig, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, enlighten the good people what you're drinking.
Yeah,
I'm
please tell them,
drinking. I'm drinking a Werther's Original vodka that was given to me by someone at work.
Rob. Doesn't look like vodka, Rob.
It looks
That's
like
because
it looks
Werther's
like
Original.
it looks like melted honey.
That's
Like,
pretty much
Did
what
you make
Werther's
that
Original
in
is, isn't
potions
it?
class?
And I've put it in
on a
Coke.
Tuesday.
You put it in Coke.
There's not enough in there for a
I'm so
substantial
worried.
drink.
Ugh. I'm polishing off my Republica.
You said you were going to do
Right.
that last time. Shame, Rob. You can't catch a break. I'm sorry. It's just
It's all right. Haters gonna hate, right? Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
No.
There's a
This
song
See
about
who has
that.
more fun tonight.
isn't hate. This is Johnny's asking. Pause the stream. Hang on. Rob, how's the vodka? Genuinely would try that. Lumpy apparently. Lumpy.
It's a bit lumpy, but it tastes okay.
I don't think vodka should ever be lumpy. I'm just saying
No.
it's supposed to be like crystal clear.
Hang on.
Lumpy
Was
is
it
not.
was it lumpy before you put it in the Coke?
No, it's not lumpy in that respect. It's like you could see it's got like little chips of Werther's Original in it.
No, that's even worse. No,
It's evolved.
it's.
Have you guys seen Species? Because Rob's about to find out all about Species.
Recommend toasted marshmallow vodka with lemonade.
Oh my god, Johnny, get out! What is going on, guys?
Okay. So if we ever do an actual live shunting yard meetup with all of us, I will bring over some homemade plum vodka. This stuff you could run a diesel car on it.
Guys, and I just want to say this during COVID, when in South Africa alcohol was banned like across the board, and a lot of people started home brewing stuff, and a lot of people died. I'm just saying, I don't think home brewing is the best way to introduce alcohol to your body. Just putting it out there.
So moonshine, yes, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
Was this a friend that gave this to you, Rob?
I said it was a work. Well, it's a work colleague more than a friend, but you know.
Is this one of the ones that's left
worse.
your office? Here's
and
a mysteriously
disappeared. Has booked a one-way ticket to Portugal because he's just committed murder.
It tastes okay. I don't know what the problem is.
If you're right, okay, we'll see how this is. We'll update everybody tomorrow as to how he is.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
He'll be falling out my backside tomorrow, won't it?
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Right, this is it. This is the 33-minute mark is where everything just dropped off. We haven't.
No, don't say that. Don't jinx it. We're fine.
Right, on topic.
Robert's not fine, but we're fine.
So
he's already smashed.
The memes are coming later. Save some room for later, Augustus. Get your questions in, get your comments in. Let's get this going on. Meme review. Yes, the meme review is coming later. You have to wait. Evening Ori. We're not going through that again. Ask the chat. They will suggest it to you. I've removed Rob because he's pissed.
I'm not.
I'm not. I heard that. I heard that even though I didn't hear it. I'm not pissed.
I'm not pissed. I can walk in a straight line just fine, officer.
Did you mute him?
I haven't muted.
Is this where I fall off my chair? Is it?
Can't do anything. What the hell? Hold on.
Oh, that's it.
What's going on?
Hilton's lost you because I kind of removed you.
I can't
Can you
hear
not?
him either.
Well, no, because he's muted.
Oh.
See, chaos. Well done, everybody. Evening, Peachy. Thank you very much for joining us. So yes, Dave, it is Legends of Model Railways. We didn't pass the memo around, so this is what we've ended up with. This over here. Hilton seems to have died, so we're going to carry on without him. Even though the first one is his, we're going to carry on without him.
We'll just wing it.
We're just going to wing it. It's going to be hilarious. So what we're talking about is Legends of the Model Railway. So what we mean is the innovations, the detail upgrades, the locomotives that stand out to us as being pivotal in our hobby, making it get better, providing that extra enthusiasm, that next step in the hobby, whether that's realism, whether that's enjoyment, whatever. So as such, can you hear us now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so as such, we have picked 2 or 3 things that stand out to us as being some innovations, some legends, etc. And we're going to go through them, give you our thoughts on them, and then we'll open the floor after each. We'll open the floor after a few of them to get some topics from you guys, and we can discuss that moving forward. And we'll do that for a little while until either Rob falls off his chair or we finish the PowerPoint. Sound
He's
fair?
like, I'm not going to fall.
I'm not going to fall off.
Right, on topic. Come on.
So Hilton,
Come on,
what we're looking
boys.
at here, my friend-
Jesus.
By the way, this is a gorgeous photo, mate.
Thanks. Okay, so I know I'm a bit of a fanboy about these damn tractors.
A bit.
and I'm very proud of it. I love them. In fact, Bill in the chat has just received, I think, 2 more on my behalf. So we will be increasing our numbers until we get to 37. Okay, but regardless, why is this innovative? And I think I've chosen the Acura Scale Class 37 just because it's something that I recently looked at, but also because I think it's a nice reflection on the current standards of modern tooling. The Acura Scale range, as well as its various competitors, let's talk Rapido, even Hornby and Bachmann, have all sort of stepped up their game in terms of their toolings in, I'd say, the past 5 or 6 years overall. I think we could all agree that the current standard we're getting in model format is superb. It makes me wonder if we will get better, although I'm sure most people said that back in like the, I don't know, 80s and 90s. They were like, well, this is the height of it. Perhaps it will get more finessed and finer details and stuff like that. But then we start crossing over into the territory of, is this something you want to run and touch, or is it something you just want to look at? Because let's be honest, when something gets a little bit too fine, then it gets quite delicate. So I chose the 37 just as a standard bearer for modern 00 scale modeling and model quality, because I think they are absolutely superb. The amount of technology that's packed inside this, let's talk about like the incredible Acura Thrash sound. I didn't believe it until I experienced it myself. The Stay Alive, the newer models have picked up on what Bachmann put down and have included, a spinning roof fan, which I think is awesome. Some people think it's a total gimmick. I'd love to know your opinion if you guys have one of those 37s or 31s with a spinning fan. I personally love it. It adds a whole lot of life to the locomotive. And short of having actual diesel or just smoke coming out of the exhaust ports, it's probably as close as we're going to get to a realistic depiction of something like a tractor. So that's my 2 cents, and that's why I chose the 37 for my first legend of model railways.
Yep, I get that. Rob, any thoughts? Any
Solid
feedback?
choice. I've not having ever touched an Acura Scale Class 37. It does sound like they've taken a lot of the features from the O gauge equivalents and just shrunk them down, which is just such a great thing for you double O gauge guys, because Helgen have done such an amazing job on the O gauge version, and I'm just so glad that you get that kind of excuse me, that kind of detail and those kind of functions in a model that's a third of the size, especially those moving fans. As O gauge guys, we've been spoilt with that for ages, but now you guys have got it in these little packages, and it just enhances the whole locomotive just that little bit more as it's going around the layout, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm completely on board with this. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal.
James, don't you need one? You can get a green one for your layout.
Don't tempt me.
Oh, he will.
Don't tempt me. I had a very long conversation with Dan yesterday, which I will discuss later on in behind the shunting yard. So I've changed many opinions, but no, I think it's an absolutely outstanding locomotive. I think Acura Scale have done absolute wonders with it. The sound profile sounds phenomenal. I still think I prefer Bachmann's.
Interesting. Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the combinations of profile and speaker. I follow. I was watching Richard at Roads and Rails. He did an EM1 upgrade speaker to the Bachmann sound profile, and it just sounded insane.
Yeah, it looks like a worthy upgrade worth doing. So I definitely consider doing point.
And I think that hearing it, because I think it's the stock Acura Thrash EM1 speaker put onto the Bachmann sound profile. I think it just elevated an already a great thing. So
yeah,
I think they did it. I think they've done it justice regardless. And I agree. The spinning fan, it's another thing that just brings that level of detail. It's that level of authenticity that you get. Okay, okay. If it's whizzing past you at a bazillion miles an hour, you're never going to see it. But when it's sat there idling and just listening to it tick over, you get yourself down to eye level just to admire your 400 quid purchase after taxes, and you just see the little spinny fan. I completely understand. So
yeah, no, it's pretty good stuff. And I think also to the whole point that Acura Scale kind of brings a very reasonable price point. I know they've recently stepped up their price point on the 37s by a little bit, but it's not a lot. And for what you get, even as just a DC ready model, it's really high quality. It's absolutely superb. So yeah, there are a few little issues here and there, but every model has a couple of issues. I hate it when one model gets chucked down the drain just because a couple of issues or gremlins pop up. Like it doesn't mean that the entire batch is cooked. Like it's so annoying to see, unless it's of course a manufacturer fault that is underlying with all of them. I'm looking at you, Night Owl. But no, I do think that this is a good standard. This is a good standard.
Yep. I think it is the standard right now.
Yeah.
I think it is the Acura Scale 37 is the standard in 00 diesel modeling for detail for price point. It is the standard, I think. Let's get some of these comments in. So Ori says, I'd say that because of Acura Scale, other competitors have used versions of Acura's techniques to up their own game. I think that's becoming more apparent. Whether or not it is specifically Acura techniques, or it's something in-house that they've gone, oh bugger, we need to expedite this. We'll see. Like not everything Acura Scale's done so far has been top notch. They've got some things that are coming that are not fantastic. Personal choice submitting. So, but it's a good observation.
So one other thing I think that I was hoping for with Acura Scale and particularly their price point and quality is that honestly, I feel like Bachmann and Acura Scale's 37s are very on par. in most regards. Like just in terms of the detailing alone, they're both absolutely exceptional. You put them both together, and it's very hard to tell them apart. But I had hoped for was with Akira Scale's really, really aggressive price point, Bachmann would eventually drop theirs, and that's not happened so far. Unfortunately, I think that Bachmann can be grabbed at a steal now because they have to have had their price points dropped in certain sales. So you can pick up a DC ready 37 from Bachmann for as low as like 130 pounds. I saw from TMC the other day. Yeah, there's a plug for Teachy, Peachy, Teachy, Teachy,
I was
120.
I was looking at Clark Railworks the other day, and I think they had some BR green Bachmann Class 37s DCC ready at like 100 quid. Like it's second hand, but still like sound fitted 120, 130, and I thought, bugger me, like
not bad, right? Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I think it would be in Bachmann's best interest if they dropped the price overall so that the RRP was lower, because I think they'd sell a lot more models straight off the bat instead of waiting for these, seasonal sales that the retailers put out to get rid of the stock and move it on. But again, I think they've proven the point. They're able to move stuff at a very high quality at a very low price, and well done to Akira Scale on that.
Yep. No, completely agree. So Peachy's saying best thing about the 37, it's got to be the bogey P4 and EM upgrades so that they look less like 00 play trains. I actually have to say, so this is something I'm actually really liking in some later Akira Scale and I believe Rapido launches, is where they're actually having it easier for people that model the Scale 4 to actually, instead of having to butcher everything, replace bogies, replace entire axles and chassis, etc., which you've had to do in the past, just swap out a wheel set, swap out an axle set, and 9 times out of 10 they're supplying them, which is insane. So I think that's really, really good from them moving forward. I wouldn't call it legendary innovation. I think it's a necessity if you want to keep certain people in the hobby. So that's why it's not on this list. Charlie saying yes, they've set the bar with the 37. Completely agreeing. Oliver says, I feel like I should have seen this coming, yet somehow I did not. I mean, if there is a stream where we don't mention a 37, it's because Hilton is
sorry. I'm here. You have to deal with your tractors.
The only way they could make this even better is if they put a smoke unit in it and they had a function for a winter cold start.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Rob, because I think the TRS do a steam smoke unit for 37s, and it looks absolutely bomb, thrashing around, like smoke plowing out of it. It looks so cool. I really want to do one of those one day.
It'd be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
Indeed. Tom, we moved a 5-inch Class 37 yesterday. That's a huge lump of loco.
That's only about that big. That's an N-gauge one, isn't it?
I think
Don't get started. Don't get started on N-gauge.
I know. I've seen more woods.
That's for later. Wrong one.
Why is that for later?
Because it's about an innovation rather than the actual 37 itself.
No, but
all right, fine. So,
okay, but it's a good point, and it probably leads nicely into yours, because the 37 did start. Well, I suppose actually it
leads into the one
55 did it first, but yes, I completely agree with Bill on that. Yeah. I know a lot of people. I've actually recently on that video that I did. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, it doesn't really matter because you can access." You put the chip in once, and then you close it, and you don't touch it again. So what's the point? But like, it's really nice. Like, I'd rather not unscrew my model and like gingerly unplug things so that I could fit in a decoder. So I think it's a great innovation.
You do a cold start on a 0037 and you'd have to evacuate the whole house and explain to the fire brigade.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Yeah.
71D production. So my only complaint with the Akira Scale 37 is that out of the box, the speaker vibrated on mine so much it shook the model initially. I mean,
So Zach,
that's just part of the
that's
aesthetic, is it not? Like you
yeah.
want
That's just
like
a base.
No, to be fair, there's nothing worse than getting an out of the box model. I've had it with one of my Backmans where it was so loud and so poorly like locked in that it kind of had this horrible vibrating sound every time there was a thrash or anything. So I know that was a problem. But yeah, I feel you on that, Zach.
Yeah. So there you are. The Akira Scale Class 37 tops our detailed locomotive, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not really innovative, it's just incredibly highly detailed, and it's a standard setter. A trend setter, if you may.
Maybe I
So
misread the.
maybe you misread the brief. No. The brief was very, very weird. So I selected as one of my few DCC. I think DCC control has been arguably the most pivotal innovation in the model railroad hobby since it began. Moving from clockwork to electric. I think from that jump from going from clockwork to electric, this is to me is a similar spike in innovation. The fact that it was at the late 80s, you had Lens come in with the LV100 control system, and it ran off a computer program, and you could have a handheld controller, and just from there, it's completely spiked all over the place. So you've got several different companies making their own. So here I've got the Hornby Select because it's widely known, people know it. It's a good set for beginners. You get them in train sets, so it's something that people see. You've got your upgrades, which a lot of people are using the NCE power cabs, and a lot of people swear by them, which
Blooming good controllers.
absolutely,
Such good controllers.
absolutely. You've got the Digitrack system, which is almost as old as Lens itself and has been going around for an awful long time, and a lot of larger railways swear by them. They absolutely run off them. But also, I included things like JMRI and DCCX, these open source controllers. This is what's happening in the real world. When looking at the tech industry, a lot more things are becoming open source. Coding, automation, AI, everything is starting to become really big in the tech world, and it
And
was
accessible.
always and accessible, and it was always going to come to the model railway world, and it is. It's coming in big time. We've had automation with Charlie at Chadwick uses Train Controller, which is a paid for service that uses Digitrax components, which is stupidly expensive. You have to pay for a subscription. It's not open source, so there are these programs to do these things. But the possibilities are endless. But also, you'll see this set of controllers I've put down the bottom. So this is a bit of trivia for the two of you. Do either of you two know what this is? Just by looking.
Power Rangers of DCC control.
They look like Game Boys. They're Game Boys.
They're Game Boys. No, so these are controllers from a company called Iowa Scale Engineering in the United States, and they are
as in the state.
as in the state of Iowa. So
Okay.
Iowa Scale Engineering. They are called proto throttles. So they have taken it's a team of actual locomotive drivers in the US have taken their knowledge of locomotives and how they run, how dynamic brakes work, how independent brakes work, done all of that coding, and shoved it into a controller that looks very similar to an actual locomotive panel, and it controls the trains, the DCC locomotives right off the bat with those signals coming out of the controller. Of course, you still have to have, a Digitrack system or something like that, but it allows people to control their locomotives exactly like you would in real life. So
you're telling me that the real life locomotive controllers are actually just Game Boys.
now they are, yes. No. This isn't actually the real life.
No, I know.
This is a whole cab condensed. Come on, Hill. But these look great. These look
Very
absolutely
cool.
great.
Very
If there was one that looked like a 37 deck, Hilton would have one.
Yeah.
Well, you say that. Look in the train sim community. I bet you there is someone that has done it.
Oh, I bet, yeah. Oh,
Evening, Tom. Thank you very much for joining us. How was the pub?
How was your sandwich, Tom? You have a nice sandwich.
Yeah. So I think for me DCC is up there with one of the biggest innovations.
So, James, I in the background have run a poll for you.
Oh.
And your poll results are. The question was, do you run DC or DCC Bluetooth? So DCC Bluetooth with 55% and DC with 4%.
How many votes?
18.
18. Wow, that's a lot of people running HM7000 or Blue Nami.
Well, yeah, I mean, I said DCC Bluetooth, so.
Well, DCC Bluetooth relegates it to 2, 3 decoders.
No, I'm saying DCC/Bluetooth.
Oh,
so
slash Bluetooth, right? Okay.
You're using some kind of automated sort of software. So, yeah.
Nice, Tom. Was it good? Let us know.
Tell us about the burger, Tom.
Tell us
want to hear about
the burger. We want to hear about the burger. So anyway, yeah, I think at least for me, DCC was an absolute must-have. I didn't want to, be buggering around with multiple analog controllers and everything. I wanted to be able to control it through something easy, and I wanted, guests to be able to not look at something like the Hornby Select or the NCE Power Cab or something like that and go, how do I do this? Which is why I like the open sourceness of things like JMRI and DCC EX. I think for me,
and to your point,
fantastic.
JMRI, James, like it's so approachable now. Like I would consider it. I'm not a coder. I could probably get Annie to do it if I'm honest, because that's what she does. But like the approachability of JMRI now that we have stuff like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I think Rob from Little Wicket did a video recently on using ChatGPT to code his JMRI stuff, and I was like, wow, that's actually super simple. You demand an input and it gives you the output that you can just copy and paste, and that's fantastic. Yep. So yeah.
So yeah, completely agree. I think that's why it has to be up there. Dave says everything I have is way too old for DCC. I mean, that's a consideration. That's a definite consideration.
It does. It always seems like a lot of work to hardwire a lot of like a big fleet. I can imagine that that's the kind of thing that puts a lot of people off transition.
I think it is a big step. Also, it's a big investment, right? For a lot of things. So, James, I'm actually kind of insulted that you put the Hornby controller in this picture, because it's actually not really a DCC controller. So it's
I know.
You could have put a Prodigy Advance or something in there, couldn't you?
Z21.
No, I stated why I put it there, because you
wasn't
get
listening.
it in DCC starter sets, or at least you did recently. You got it in DCC Hornby starter sets.
Hornby must stop lying. They must stop lying.
Stop with your lies.
Stop with your lies, Hornby.
If anybody is thinking about just swapping to DCC, pick a power cab.
I am actually going to counter that and say right now, go DCC EX.
No, and I will disagree with both of you and say Roku Z21.
Well, there you go. 3 suggestions for everybody.
There you
There
are.
you go.
Either way,
But
you're getting a
my
fantastic
point
controller.
was, I think that the step to DCC is a serious investment for anyone who's been collecting DC for a very long time.
Yes.
It's the conversion of locos, it's the price of the kit itself. If you want something decent, it's a big investment to go and make that conversion. So, if you're starting, I'd say make your decision up before you start with what you want to do.
Yeah, no, completely agree. As Tom says, he's got over 100 locos. Don't want to move them all over to DC, so I'll probably stick with DC for now. And I think there are a lot of people in that boat. So yeah, I completely get that. Completely get it. So we have, yeah, Johnny said, missed the poll. Roco Z21. I find it great for doing CV work, but I'd say overcomplicated for just testing engines on a rolling road like I do.
Yeah, I think that's a very expensive purchase for rolling road tests, Johnny. But I agree. The Z21 is so good, though. It has I am on the tip of the iceberg with that thing. There is so much to learn. It's great.
Yeah. So Aaron says you forgot the Hornby Z01. I did not forget it. I chose to ignore it. Moving on.
Well, like the godfather of 00 gauge digital.
Is it?
For 00, yeah.
Is it the godfather? 01?
Not of DCC in general. I'm saying in 00.
00, right? Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. More with the Hornby Select/Elite with Bluetooth tethering to HMDCC as a lethal combo. I mean, I haven't tried it, mainly because I refused to buy a Hornby Select or Elite, so I can't back that up. But I'll take your word for it. I can't. I don't. To me, I don't understand. Maybe if I find it weird that for a Hornby controller, you have to buy an extra device to use a Hornby decoder, whereas for every other DCC controller, you just swap the decoder to DCC mode and it works instantly.
Yeah. Shame. Hornby have always tried to innovate in that space.
I don't get it.
It's such a weird one because there was that one where it was just like a computer controller. And I'm like, that's asking a lot of somebody, right? To buy something with the expectation that they're gonna have the computer to run it. It's a very select starter pack for somebody to make that purchase. So there have been some misses there, in my opinion, but good on you for innovating. I just think that a lot of people have been unfortunately left behind when it comes to some of their tech that they've put out, and those who've committed to that tech. Anyways,
I almost bought a set with E-Link just to try it and talked myself out of it. And I'm so glad I did. Charlie, the one controller I don't see there is the Dynamis. It is dated now, but the wireless controller is what I love about it, freedom to roam. Yeah, I completely agree. I think wireless controllers in mainstream setups is definitely one of those things that needs to become more mainstream.
Z21.
Engine driver app.
I don't like using my phone. So, okay, let's talk about controllers because I like a tactile feel to when I'm controlling something. So I've used the Z21 on my phone before. Okay, you've got 2 phones. Great, James, but you're missing my point. Like this, being able to control my engine speed with this and have functions like this when I push it in, as opposed to haptic feedbacks on my phone, is a very different thing. And I think I kind of attribute it to running trains as a kid because you had a controller that you turned the dial with. I think if I had started today with model railways, I would probably be absolutely fine running off a phone. But I love the tactile nature of a controller.
And that's why I like this one as well, Hill.
There you go.
That's
yeah.
why I like the knob.
No, I completely agree. I haven't invested in a physical controller for this yet, but I will be because I'm the same. I like having that the tactile response. I completely agree with you. The only reason I have it set on the phone is so I can actually use it. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there.
Dan's in the chat.
Dan, a
Oh,
knob.
wow.
How archaic. You're talking
You
about
know what?
yourself, Dan.
I think you should just ban him right now. Just
I can't through here. I have to go
I'll
to
ban
YouTube.
him.
Phil. Right,
I
we're
think I can
getting off.
silence him.
Yeah, Charlie, choose a controller that suits your needs. I need wireless, but someone with a different layout may want a static controller. Completely right. Matt, hardwiring kit-built locomotives is like stepping through the ninth gate.
He's been timed out. Oh, it's brilliant.
Wow. Okay, this is what you get for missing a stream. Ori, the reasons I'm not in DCC is because of old locos, the inability to add droppers around the layout, and the effort to fit DCC in all my locos, maybe in the future. Yeah, I think this is a big sentiment for a lot of people that have been doing DC only for a long time. Is it's adapting a current layout, you know,
It's a lot of
spending all
work.
that time and money. It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, and I completely sympathize with it. James, it's like saying you've got a Beyblade, but it's just a spinning top.
I love that.
That's a great analogy. That is a great analogy.
Let her rip, and he's got this like old spinning top.
Just a little. No, it's just a dreidel. It's just a dreidel. So there you are. There you are. I chose DCC. Do you guys agree? Is it a pinnacle in innovation?
Absolutely, definitely.
So yeah, I think it's one that continues to sort of grow from strength to strength too, as well. I think we could talk at length about this because we could talk about customizing, loco sounds and the constant improvement in CV. Yeah, we will. I know. Constant improvement in like CV technology and quality. So yeah, good, great innovation, and definitely a legend of the railways. Again, guys, I feel like I missed a brief here. I thought we were talking about models. So I'm sorry. My
yes,
bad.
this is not your. This is sort of another miscommunication effort. But that's what we do. We make things worse. Swiftly moving on.
Oh, by the way, do you want the scores for the poll?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Right, that poll has ended. 17 votes, phone or physical. Physical, 100%. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, boy.
Come on.
17 votes.
Oh no. Okay. Right.
I just want to just Tom. It's Hilton with a Y. I saw it. I saw it on the comment the other day, and I saw it today, and you did it again. It's Hilton with a Y.
Tony.
Please.
Tony.
Can I just make just a quick thing about the whole controller thing? A lot of people use this hobby to get away from technology like that. I know I do.
Yeah.
So using your phone for it is kind of completely counterproductive.
I get it. No, I completely get it. As I said, it's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Completely understand. Right. Moving swiftly on. Rob, what are we looking at?
This was something that came up in the comments earlier, funnily enough. The whole PCB that you can easily access, and it just makes it's one of those things that takes the stress out of DCC fitting. And Dapol mastered this when they first released their 1400 in O gauge, which is actually the reason I moved to 7mm, is because of that particular locomotive and that particular idea. Purely because I modelled N-gauge and I was terrified about DCC, and I saw that and I was like, it's natural progression, isn't it? And it was really easy. Take the smoke box off, slide the PCB out, take the blanking chip out, put the chip in, slide it back in, and there you got a DCC loco in like 5 minutes, toolless practically as well, because they actually supply the tool with the locomotive. It's just that it's missing in my video. But yeah, I just
So,
think
Rob,
that's
I think
revolutionary.
I think especially when it comes to a steam loco, right? Because one of the most terrifying things to me is putting a DCC chip in a steam loco, because you've got running gear that's, small and fairly fragile, and whenever you undo the screws and you have to pry the body off from the chassis, it's always a moment where your kind of heart sits in your throat and you're just like, I hope this works and I don't break anything.
Absolutely.
So
The last thing you want to do is have to. You don't want to take your expensive £200 model apart to put a chip in it, do you? You want a quick and easy method of fitting it without potentially breaking any of the detailed parts. And I just think it's just revolution. We're carrying on with the DCC theme here, aren't we? And I just think it's just such a brilliant idea.
It's worth it.
Well.
It's worth it.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Late to the party.
Look what he's wearing.
You, Christ.
You know what? I had to cut across Rob because I hate those things with a passion. I really do, because it's where you want the adhesive weight in a smaller scale. So that tray, it's just a lot of fanning about. Just take the body off of the tender.
Just make a die-cast boiler then.
Tell Dapple this. Tell Dapple. But seriously, it's where you want.
No, Daniel, it's your fault.
Oh, I can't remember what his pseudonym is.
You timed that perfectly, you did then.
What, to come in after the watershed?
That and when I was talking about that chip.
Well, also
the stream was going so well.
The problem is, no, it wasn't, because you amateurs, you didn't make the distinction about controlling trains with phones. Now, my Engage layout has been controlled for the last 15 years using a touch tone phone. So yeah, you can have a phone and still just touch the buttons. You don't need a touch screen. It doesn't have to be your mobile phone. And you made no distinction.
Could you imagine running a DCC layout off a Nokia brick?
That'd be brilliant.
Like literally, do it off a house phone.
That would be good, but no. Quick, I need to go to speed step 9.
Yeah, no, literally.
2.
That's how it works.
4.
So it's like 2 is forward gear, 8 is reverse gear, and then to speed up, it's 3, 6, and 9 for the different increments.
Please do a video on this.
Yeah, I'll do a video on it.
Please do a
if
video
you
on
really
this.
want.
I want to
I'll
see
do a
it.
video to explain it to you clowns in WhatsApp privately, and then I'll upload it to my channel.
No.
Now carry on as you were.
Rotary dial DCC control. Exactly. I want to see this.
They're jumping on you, Dan, in the comments, mate.
It's excellent. Sorry to turn up and breathe life into what you're doing. Why is there so much?
Wow.
Why is it?
Wow.
And I didn't wear this for the controversy. It's just really, really hot in the UK at the moment, so wearing a shirt is preferable over a t-shirt.
Rob was going to appear naked, so you did well.
Yeah.
I threatened it, yeah.
Wow.
Dan had just such major
I know.
He joined the stream to vet them.
This is
He's so angry. He drove so quickly. He was like, I've got to get home. I'm so angry.
He was just there going through all the red lights on his way home, just sirens in the background.
We have officially derailed.
No, go on, as you were.
Rob, carry on. Try and carry on.
Go on.
No, I'm done.
Convince us that this funny tray thing is a good idea, because I'm not convinced.
I just think it's very useful for people who are a bit shy about dismantling their models and uneasy about DC fitting in general. Have got an easy way to do it away from their model.
We're just
So-
a little shy. We're just a
But the
little shy
problem
about
is,
it.
it actually terrified me because you get this little tool, and if you lose the tool, you have to use like a spudger or something. But every time you go in there, there's a chance of damaging the smoke box door. And do you think they give you a spare? No. So it's like
I'm sure you can buy them from the spares.
But
buying
I'm
from
starting
spares.
to get his point. Yeah.
The thing is that if you strip a screw, you can get a screw anywhere. And you generally, if a tender body or like a loco body is held on with 4 screws, you can live with 3. Just be careful when you pick up your loco. But if you screw
Dude,
up
it's
your
not the
smoke box door,
same.
yeah, well,
It's not the same if you've got a loco with 3 screws. That you know in your heart of hearts that you're missing a screw.
yeah,
And your logo is
I know.
not complete.
know.
It's rubbish. You know that feeling.
I know.
Right?
I know. It's a bit like when you're in the last couple of laps of the race and one of the cars is missing from your team because it's just driven into a wall.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Okay. Just.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put you on timeout. I can put you on timeout, Dan. I will.
He will. Charlie, it's probably cheaper to buy a new smoke box door than wires that pop out of the connector between the tender and loco. Ooh, some counter
Wait.
arguments, yeah.
Thank you, Charlie.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
I
okay,
stand with you on this.
Here's the thing:
I
is
got
you
you
don't
back.
need wires to connect the tender and loco because you can use a multi-pin socket. Multiple manufacturers have proved this. I mean, there's lots of different variations. Even Dapple have it on their tender locos. But my beef with this is because I have a Mogul, a 4300 from Dapple, and it runs really, really nicely. The only problem is that it's just a little bit light-footed, and it's because the smoke box is taken up with this weight, this lack of weight, because it's got a little tray in it instead of some proper weight. So you dodged a bullet this week, James, by not buying a Mogul.
this is true. I apparently have dodged 2 bullets.
Okay, Dan. So on this point though about easy DCC fitting, I'm sure you were raging when you saw me talking about the Cure Scale 37. But how do you feel
No,
about
I didn't.
the lift-off panel?
Okay, so the lift-off panel is a really clever idea. I like that because we saw that in Engage years ago with the N class from Farish, with the tender body. You just literally go like that, and it comes off. No screws required,
Yeah.
and you just plug the chip in and pop it back on. And they've done several models like that, and even like the Rapido Lion does that as well. It's just a tender. You just it off. So that's a brilliant idea. I don't know why I'm doing the sound effect either.
It's great though. I like
Off.
it.
Yeah.
That was synchronized.
Well, there we go.
Dan's beef is really because Dapple did this before he could suggest it.
No,
HQ.
I would. I'd be annoyed. It could go in things that I'm not interested in. To be honest, it's just like, yeah, I much prefer. Because the thing about DCC fitting is, if you do it right, you only do it once. You take the body off once, you put the decoder in, put it in, and then you run it for. In theory, in this hobby, we buy things for life. That's how we get the most value for money from it. So if you buy a £300 loco and you're like 30, you go, well, actually, it's only cost me like £100 a decade to run it if I reach 60. So yeah, great value.
If I reach 60. Yeah.
If I reach 60, you know,
That's worth
I like the hope. The hope
pick me off in the meantime.
I definitely think we need a banner that says Dan's just jealous.
I'm on it.
I was gonna say.
That's fine. I can live with this.
I can live
this abuse in public. And I thought you
we
guys
all get
would be
it.
happy to see me.
I'm very happy to see you, Dan. Very happy to see you.
You may have a point.
That is fair. That is fair.
There we go. Happy middle ground. Happy middle ground, right?
A diplomat from South Africa. That is a new one.
Listen, we had the greatest diplomat ever.
A non-biased diplomat from South Africa.
Okay. Right. I don't want to be responsible for this next innovation. Go on. Unless Rob has anything else to say.
No, I'm all done. Moving on.
Thank you, Robert. It was a great contribution.
Am I in time for the news?
You missed the news.
Do you want to just go back?
Rob
Rewind.
No, so much. He made me come back.
Let's please not.
So I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the reasonings from Dan as to why this shouldn't be on here.
I don't understand.
Hilton.
Okay, so this was an example. Again, I feel like I didn't get the memo on this whole stream. But
I don't
I'm
think
just
any of
saying,
us did.
There was a reason for that.
so my point was, I mean, I used the Hornby A4s as an example, but basically, legends of railways. We're talking about the A3s, the A4s, this tried and tested stuff that Hornby's always put out, that's always sold, that's always done well, and that most people have in their collections. I did it as purely, it's what many of us know when we think of double O gauge railways. It's it's home, so to speak. I only have one A4 myself, but I just think it's a very pertinent legend of railways. Sorry,
Okay.
It's not DCC or some cool innovation. Go ahead, Dan. Roast the hell out of it.
I'm going to. So if you're talking about real locos, the A4 is a legend. If you're talking about models, the A3s and A4s, they followed on from the Merchant Navy. That was the thing that raised the bar for Hornby, and then they did all the same things. But there is an A3 that Trying did that was innovative and new, and that was the one with the piece of sandpaper under the tender. So as it ran along, you went and you got puffing sounds in the
Completely
60s.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that was innovative in its time. So
See, why weren't you here to tell us that?
So Dan,
I am now.
On this point, Dan, why didn't you add any of your options of what you thought were legends of railways to the slides?
I don't know. You guys have got to learn to,
To what?
You can't...
To what, Daniel? To what?
All right. Survive on your own
my
ground.
point is proven. No, you're one of the co-hosts, Daniel. Add your bloody slides next time.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Next time, I'll focus my entire week on this and not bother testing any of the new models that we're working on. And all the people in the stream have got things on pre-order. There's lots of juicy things that I've been working on.
Fine.
They can wait for longer for it.
That's a good idea. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're happy to wait for longer for your porta pars?
Happily.
And for me to be unemployed.
As long as you get your slides.
I was going to say, get your slides in. Get your news in.
Wow. Is this the angst because your partner's been away for a few days? Are you just literally missing Annie that much that you just got that pent up frustration?
Dan, you know
Guys.
The past couple nights. Why did you remove Rob?
It was an accident.
Sorry, Rob's trying to get us back on topic.
I've got an A4.
I love it.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Is that a tender drive, Rob?
It is a very ancient Hornby one, yeah.
Yeah, so that was innovative.
Made in Great Britain.
Wow. Where's that?
I know Britain.
And it still runs.
Oh.
Rob's
Tom
pulled
Marshall.
the weapon again.
So I take it you've been messaging Tom Marshall as well this week. He says we're all missing Annie. It's like, yeah, it's making you all like
Annie,
I don't know, like Hilton the koala bear, like all
Annie's
soft and lonely.
I was a bit lonely. I had to talk to Dan.
Oh, I know, right? We talked for an hour because you were lonely, and I think that means he was very lonely.
All right, let's keep going.
So we're not saying Hornby A4s. We're saying the tooling around that time. What I'm trying to articulate.
Yeah, so I think you're probably summing it up as best as I would, James. I think it's more just a case of like the tried, tested, sturdy examples of models from a manufacturer. Again, I maybe missed the memo about innovation. I was thinking about things that were more like, what do a lot of people have? What has brought them to the hobby? And I think, the A3s, Flying Scotsman, the A4s, all of those have been pretty important. So that was my point.
I take
it or leave it.
No, I get it. I completely get it. Very valid.
I guess you kind of think of it as a staple, a bit like baked beans. So a Hornby 84 is like baked beans.
Bananas.
Okay, Dan. Sure.
Look at Rob.
Smoky Joe should be up there.
Actually, you know what? You're right, Tom. You're right.
Smoky Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Engage Percy should be up there too.
Hmm.
That's a legend for 009 modelers.
Just for the pure fact that they made the perfect locomotive chassis in the wrong scale. No.
All right,
Matt.
there are a lot of
No,
legends
Matt.
being suggested
No,
here.
Matt. Yes, and this is what I was trying to avoid, because we would just go through an entire list of locomotives, and it would be the same spiel that gets mentioned every time, and we'd end up on that age-old debate of, is Flying Scotsman a legend? But
No.
we'll get to that later.
It is with the piece of sandpaper.
But we'll get to that later. Yes, actually, with the snap paper, I will give you that.
Yeah.
So Hilton, I think both of us were keen
On track with this, yeah.
on track with this. I think the commercialization of it specifically is what I think is come up. It's not a new thing because, of course, there have been oil-based smoke generators around for quite a while. Some manufacturers are still using them in their stupidly expensive locomotives for what reason I do not know. Knowing full well that there are water or water vapor based solutions,
The best solution. Yeah.
the best solutions. But I think I think smoke generators just add to that. It's the rotating fan of the steam world.
The rotating fan of the steam world. Yeah, that's well put, James. I think the smoke generators.
I think that's the best way to do it.
No, I completely agree with you. So,
or
if
like
I had
the
option
lights.
to, yeah. Like I think if you had the option, I'd probably rather have a smoke generator over a glowing firebox. Personally, I think it brings steam to life in a much better way, and I think that the water vapor technology that TRS certainly seemed to pioneer before Hornby. I just want to put that out there. I've certainly seen TRS doing that way before Hornby did.
He's been doing it for years.
Hornby's commercialized it. I think it's really fantastic. It doesn't leave any oil or residue on your track. I think it adds a really dynamic, a really dynamic feeling to model railways, and it's got volume as opposed to a classic oil generator or oil smoke generator. Those kind of like wisp out and they don't look fantastic. Whereas the steam dissipates, it moves nicely. It really is pretty fantastic. I wish we had more of this. I wish we had this as a ready to buy sort of thing in many ways. And I know that probably won't happen for many, many years, but I do like it. I love it.
Yep. No, I agree. I think it's a great innovation. But I think the oil-based ones, at least the newer one on the Black Label A4. So Charlie at Hooterton put a video up a few days ago on his Instagram, and actually it does look rather good. It was chuffing. The chuff rate seemed to be relatively good. It wasn't just wisping around. Like, it didn't have volume like you have from a water vapor, but it was still better than other oil-based that at least I'd seen.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
for sure. Dan and Rob are being uncharacteristically quiet.
I'm just reading the chat.
I was waiting for my turn.
Carry
Your
on,
turn
mate.
is now.
My turn is now. Okay. I think the oil-based stuff is better, but it's interesting to think about. What was it? Someone said.
Why do you say
about? Because the technology does far more. I've yet to see the water-based one do cylinder drain cocks or do decent reaction to chuffing. Whereas
so TRS do cylinder drain cocks and the chuffing as well.
But also,
Hornby do the chuffing. It's good.
I don't think the condensation that comes out onto your model is a particularly great thing. That kind of worries me. As somebody as well who I've traditionally run dehumidifiers in my model space to keep my buildings and keep my layout in a decent condition. And so I kind of think adding something with water that's spraying water vapor about the place is counterintuitive to that. But I'm not sold on. I think like the oil-based ones are better, but I think of them in terms of that's what I grew up with as well, with G-scale stuff. So yeah, in an open air environment, it you can use either, but I think some of the innovations that ESU have put into their latest HO models are pretty good using the oil-based.
So Dan, I think I suppose we can debate this, but I haven't experienced any kind of residue or effects from running the steam generator. I don't think that even if you hold your hand over the chimney directly and let it chuff at a very high rate, you will not have any residue or like water vapors that collect on your hand. So, and that was something that I thought about too, because it was something I was a little bit like concerned about. Like, is it okay if there's just like water spewing out onto the layout? But from my experience, it's not steam per se. It's vapor that does not condense, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it better. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. I think there's pros and cons to both, probably. I think long term, the actual steam generator versions need to be probably tested a bit more thoroughly, and we need a bit more feedback from modelers who have been using it. I don't think it's widely adopted by any means, but from a pure visual standpoint, I find that the steam generator looks better, looks more realistic. It's got more volume to it.
I think my biggest issue with it is that both of them suffer from the same problem in that you're putting a fuel in to make something happen and it runs out. So if you leave the function on, it can cause damage on both versions. And so you have something where you have to be attentive to the loco all the time. Now, making the comparison to Firebox Glow, that's something you can leave on all the time. And you could, in theory, leave your model on at work and then go home and come back after the weekend and the model will be absolutely fine. Nothing would have burnt out and damaged, having done it myself. And, but you can't leave a smoke generator loco for 3 days over a weekend and come back and it be fine. It will have caused damage to itself. So it's something that perhaps the attentive side, I'm not. Also, the realism side, Firebox Glows actually react to chuffs and react in a way. As someone who has done their fair share of firing, I think that the glows can be far more realistic than the chuffs, because the chuffs as well, the smoke never changes color on any of them when you're actually firing, which is something that happens in real life. But it doesn't just change as a blanket color. It changes at different parts of the chimney, depending on where you fire it, which type of engine it is, and all that kind of thing. So there is space for more innovation somewhere along the line. But I think it's something that in day-to-day operations, if you operate your layout a lot, you it'd be fun to begin with, but then it becomes a bit of a chore to stop and refill it and stop and refill it and stop and refill it. You can't just play with your trains. And that's what we all want to do, really. It's just play, don't we?
I get that.
I hear you. I also think that, Dan, like to your point about the Firebox, that was my personal preference, that I'd prefer steam over a Firebox. But I do also think that in terms of innovation with Fireboxes, it would be great if Hornby Fireboxes weren't just constantly open, like the light actually switched off every now and then, because it honestly looks like the fireman is just running with the door open constantly. And I think that's quite distracting, because it is one of those nitpicky things that I think a lot of Steam fans would be like, come on, like close the door. Like let's build up a bit of heat, right?
Depends on the instructions sent out, because if they're using a particularly dodgy batch of coal, it could be bending fire bars by having not enough secondary air.
Okay, but like those are semantics. But you get my points, right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Rob, do you have some thoughts?
No, because I haven't had any experience with the smoke generators, so I can't really put anything in there. Though I do agree with Dan. I've done my fair share of firing as well, and it doesn't give a realistic effect. But in model form and in the kind of times that we're in at the moment, where it's in its infancy in most respects, it's pretty good from what I've seen.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like
It's on its
realistic model.
way.
Yeah, to be realistic, like when it's on your layout approaching a field where there's a load of grisers, suddenly the smoke should go thick and black at the same time as hearing the shoveling sound, because all the best firemen find all the dust and throw it basically directly at the tube plate just as you approach. Yeah,
Just
I
as you're
can tell
approaching a bridge with loads of people on it, yeah.
I can tell you from one of the videos I went through recently and uploaded to my channel. I'm not plugging here, but yeah, there's a bit where we leave Glenfinnan on this Black 5, and the firemen all week had made a habit of finding all the dust and putting it to one side. And as you leave Glenfinnan, there's a bridge, and apparently a coach load of people would stop on that bridge to take pictures, but never ride the train. And it irked him that much. So you get all the crappy dust and throw it at the tube plate so that the smoke would just smoke them all out and cover them in dust, just as we went under the bridge. So it's kind of like, that's the innovation we want.
A realistic line side fire would be fun. One that starts as the logo goes past. I'm gonna set you the challenge. Tom. Diorama with a pop-up fire.
I think also
I've seen some German layouts where they swap sections of scenery out. It drops into either it flips over or it drops out and another one pops in place. Maybe you could do that with a line side fire.
I think Tom's going too far. What you actually need, Tom, is the washing line that goes across the line. When you stop the chimney underneath it, the smoke should be able to change the color of the washing as he comes out and goes, "Look at my pants! Could you move up a bit? Oh, get away with you!"
Okay. All right, you guys want the poll results?
Yep, poll results.
Coming up. All right, smoke generators, yeah or nah? 80% for yeah, 20% for nah. 20 votes.
Interesting.
Thank you, guys.
Interesting. I'm curious then. So if I put smoke generators in here, and I decided not to put the Hornby live steam.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
And I really wanted it to become a thing. When it first came out, it was oh crap, you can actually have an actual miniature size thing on your layout, because of course you've heard of, 5-inch gauge or what, all of these bigger gauges where it actually runs off, steam pressure or, etc., runs off coal or gas or whatever. But to have that in 00 form was a massive step forward. And it just never went anywhere. And I really don't. I understand why, because it's complicated.
Didn't have something to do with like a misprint in the instructions or something like that? I seem to remember hearing that there was something wrong about how Hornby told you to fire it. I don't know. Maybe somebody can correct me. I don't know much about it, so I'm asking more than anything else.
I don't
Dan
know.
doesn't know. Rob doesn't know.
I was into
Dan
Formula
doesn't
1 at the time
know?
when it came out, so
I do know that it can't be run on the same track as other models either, can it? It has to be run on its own independent line.
It has to be on its own independent line, which I think was a killer.
Yeah,
I think one of my mates locally blew up his Bachmann Dynamis by trying to run his steam generator on it.
Oh,
so there you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there you are.
Rip Dynamis.
Yeah, Rip Dynamics. I mean, okay, so we have one or two comments on this. So King Ori, yeah. So TRS was where I started to become satisfied in live Steam because it wasn't the constant stream like the Soothe ones.
I agree. Yeah.
Yep, agreed. Matt, oil-based should be retrofitted to diesels, as diesel is an oil-powered fuel. Water for steam moved more like the real thing.
But what about the liquid oil that is put into the firebox of many engines in order to make them work? Because it's not just steam that comes out the chimney.
What if you've got an oil-fired 2800?
Lots more oil-fired things.
Johnny, I suspect if you're running one small engine on water for a short period, you won't notice any adverse effects, but surely multiple over a long period will increase the humidity of the room.
Yeah.
Not at all, Johnny. Not at all. It's so minimal. It's so minimal.
I think
Unless your room is like the size of
I was
like
going to say
the
it's a
closet under the stairs.
Well, put it this way: when you make your model of Edinburgh Waverley, and then it's full of all these engines with the smoke generators.
Maud. It's just full of Maud.
Maud.
Maud. Would you turn down a smoke generator fitted Maud?
No, I've got one out. I'm happy with that. I'd actually rather like a Firebox Glow one, to be fair, because the cab is quite enclosed. Yeah.
Last one. So Charlie says, I believe with the Dapo A4, as long as you don't activate the smoke generator on your controller, it is safe. Well, I would hope so.
It's a bit like that film where you run the engine at speed step 50 and then it activates a bomb and you have to stay over speed step 50 or otherwise it explodes. I think it was called The Model That Could Not Slow Down.
Tom, say true live steam in diesel engines would be awesome. Realistic too. I think that's the next step. I think we will see manufacturers push into.
So I take it you talked about fans in diesel engines before then.
We did that in Acura Scales Class 37.
Okay, so have you talked about working pantographs yet?
No.
Because that's surely the same thing, the same level of innovation, but for electric locos.
Well, you weren't here to suggest it, so that could have been you. No, it didn't cross my mind at all, honestly, because I don't care for electrics.
That's been around for years, though, as well, hasn't it? Overhead electrics on double O gauge locos. I think my old Hornby Class 90 has the facility to do that.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you're looking at a different, the pantograph being used to pick it up. I'm talking about ones where the DCC will make the pantograph raise and lower.
Oh, you're just on about the...
Yeah, one where it actually does it itself.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, but hang on. So I'm going to counter that with, if the power to get the actual electricity to run the motor already exists, if you have a 00 electric locomotive, why not just set that up and make it ultra realistic where it has to go up?
I would
Next
have thought
slide.
Considering where you grew up, pantographs are a weird foreign thing.
I was going to say, they are completely... I look at them here and go, why have they got wires above the locomotives?
Yeah, because you're used
to touch it.
Skelectric trains.
Skelectric trains.
You'll be like, oh, I want an LED on my pickup shoe.
So,
here we go.
If I've missed any of your comments, by the way, we might get to them.
This is mine again because I missed the memo on this whole thing.
Oh, come on, apparently. You can't fall back on that anymore.
No, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Because it's the best modern steam engine I've experienced, with probably the worst sound profile too. But it really is. I'm joking. It's the best. It's the best steam profile I've
I'm the innovation.
I know.
But what's weird is that in your timeline, it was new to you, and in my timeline, because I did the development, I did this before Met 1, but because of a licensing agreement on Met 1, because we had to get a license from TfL, that was actually produced ahead of this. So technically, this isn't innovative to the public because Met 1 had all the same stuff on it, but was released to the public first.
Well, I am the public. Okay? And I'm just saying, for me, that was absolutely incredible. And I'm complimenting your work by saying it is the best thing that's happened to me since I've entered this hobby. And I know that's not been a long time, but I really do feel like it's set a very high standard.
I don't want to blow your minds, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but today I was playing with the very first sample of 123 with all the same shit on it.
No,
Stop it.
Right, it doesn't exist. It's not tooled yet. It's still in tooling. I didn't give anybody a secret.
You're gonna have an HR meeting tomorrow.
I was going to say,
Um,
you get to work with running like
But to the Jones goods, I also just think it's done the world of good for Scottish modelers and putting Scotland a little bit more back on the map for the 00 community. So good job all round. Fantastic locomotive, beautiful detail, probably
Yes, it looks
the
gorgeous.
best detail I have seen. Like the fine lining on the wheels and like the splashes and everything. It's nuts. I absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of kit.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It looks absolutely fantastic, and if I cared about Scotland, I might have got one. But I
Well, you
don't.
can have a county with all the same stuff on it soon.
Yeah.
Already in progress.
Yeah. I must say
Which
though,
you're going to tell me off for later.
your best video, in my opinion.
Mine.
Yeah, Hilton. Yeah, your best
I was going
video.
to say I haven't done one of those.
I watched it and I was just like, oh, this guy. Why can't Sam Trains be more like this guy? Not a carpet in sight. And he gets it. It was like literally, I was sat in my office working and I put on your review, overview
Thank
of
you.
it. And when you talked about the sound, I just went, he gets it. He gets it. And I was literally like, and my colleagues were like, what? Who gets what? I was just like, this guy. He gets what I was doing with the Jones goods.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah,
So,
it's superb. Honestly, it's superb. So yeah, bit biased, but that's
And,
one of my legends.
Bias is allowed.
And you know what? It had this brilliant innovation for DCC, right? No silly trays or having to pick the smoke box door off with a piece of plastic. The decoder was fitted inside the loco when you got it. So you didn't have to pick anything apart. You just put it on the track and it worked.
It's amazing, genuinely.
I know.
Like other
What an innovation.
DCC fitted models. Okay.
Well, I was gonna actually, I wanted to say earlier when we were talking about the chip going in, thinking to myself, but hang on, aren't there 3 options
There
to
is
buy a
another way.
locomotive? It's you buy the DCC ready, you buy it with DCC, or you buy it with sound, which means the innovation has been done in 2 of those aspects for you.
It's fine. The innovation helps the people out at the factory who have to fit it for you if you buy the pre-fitted version.
Jesus, right, okay. Any advances on the Rapido Jones goods?
Yes.
Rob's given up all hope. How much of your Werther's vodka have you got left? Dan, do you know about the Werther's vodka?
The Werther's vodka.
It's gone. I've finished it. It's gone.
He's finished his
I can
his
see.
lumpy
You're
Werther's
finished too.
vodka.
The vodka is gone.
I'm just
Overall?
really hot up here. It's so hot.
That's what happens when you drink vodka.
Rob, I think
Take
you
your
should go
pants
get
off,
some
Rob.
water.
Take off your pants.
No,
No?
I will not be doing that.
No.
Rob,
I have
moving-
standards.
Moving
I
swiftly
suggest you
on.
go and trade in your t-shirt and get yourself a shirt and buttons from the top. You're slightly more comfortable. Just allows you to billow
James.
a bit.
James, before you get onto this,
I'm going to kill
You
you
should
one
bring
day, Dan.
oh no,
What am I getting up?
Oh,
dude, I don't want to know.
Somebody's gonna meme that already. You guys are gonna love the memes.
the
You
3D
guys are
printed
absolutely
figures
gonna
is
love it.
definitely an innovation.
Yes, yes.
Well, we're going to have to
talking
get
about
through this
model
if we want to
here.
get to the memes.
We're talking about model. We're talking about the beautiful innovation that is the short wheelbase and smooth running of the Ruston and Hornsby 48DS. I am yet to hear of anyone who has had a bad 48DS. Correct me if I'm wrong, people.
No, they are superb. Absolutely superb. I mean, you can't argue. Look how small it is. Look at it.
Like-
It's so small.
Look how dinky it is. I took it apart specifically so I could show it. Look how diddy that
It's probably
motor
not good
is.
for it, huh?
you know,
And it's funny how they're both doing this, right? Look how small it is. And me and Rob, who have both dabbled in Engage, are both looking at it going, it looks kind
That's
of
not
big.
small.
Okay, for double O. Let me. I'm just gonna
Okay,
hold this.
right.
I'm gonna hold
Right.
this like
Tell my wife
a
it's not that
YouTuber I
small.
know. This
It's
is how
not
a
small.
YouTuber I know holds it. So there you go. Look at how small this is. Wow, it's amazing. Jeez, don't hold your models like that, you twat.
Right. That's it.
Shots fired.
That's it. If you're going to talk about small models, I'm going to send you guys something. And James, if you want to put it in the thing,
Nice try, Diddy.
you can't.
I was gonna say, please do not send me. No.
I deleted.
Morwood,
Basically, we
just
got
broke.
some porta par samples, and it was so small that I nearly put it in my mouth.
So actually, this is where I'm hoping. I really hope the porta pars knock it out of the park, because they took this, scaled it up very slightly, because I believe the wheelbase isn't that much
Has that got a keeper leg in
wider.
it?
No,
No.
that's why I'm saying I'm hoping the porta par one-ups this, because I believe the porta pars have stay alives already fitted and speakers
do.
already fitted.
They do.
So,
And
but is the wheelbase much larger than this?
no, it's much shorter.
Is the wheelbase shorter than a Ruston 48?
I would guess so.
Like axle to axle?
Yeah, because most of the porta par is the overhang at the rear. Go look at a
Oh,
picture.
That's
no.
of
true. There's got a massive overhang at the rear, so those
You
front
had-
two axles are very close together.
You heard it here first, guys. The Ruston might get replaced.
Put it this way, right? I'm not into the porta pars. It doesn't interest me at all. But having seen the painted samples and run them, I'm finding it very, very difficult to not buy one with my own money.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
And the fact that there's plain liveried ones where you can customize them and they're still available.
Oh,
My wallet doesn't. My wallet doesn't. One of them is basically almost in Great Western Green. You could just literally put GWR on the tank and it would be like.
Dan, we had a lengthy conversation yesterday about how much I do not need to buy locomotives.
It's
and
not
here you
suitable
are
for
trying
you.
and here you are convincing me to buy another one.
No,
You
I'm
need
not
to track
you.
first.
Watch
But
it, you.
onto all of your points, and this is I don't know if we highlighted this one already, but Tim Martial was saying that an innovative hobby changing locomotive is a Hornby Pickett.
Well, I was getting to that.
Well, I'm just jumping the gun. Sorry. Sorry.
No, you carry on, mate. You carry on.
No. Sorry, that's totally my bad.
So, I'm gonna block all you off.
James, what the hell?
So, we've gone through our picks for models, innovations, legends of model railways. But we couldn't leave it out without Hilton's favourite flying teapot.
Where's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of it? This is the photo he sent me.
You haven't paid for it yet.
The rest of it's DLC.
It's a Bethesda production. What do you expect?
Yeah, you have to pay for the extra water in the tender and the.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
So, Hilt, why should we be talking about this thing?
I don't know. We all agreed that you wanted to include this. You guys love it.
Absolutely, we love it so much.
Dan.
So that
It's reopening the full line of the Severn Valley Railway. That's there you go.
That's the highlight of the stream.
It's
Dan.
a legend.
It's a
Did you
legend.
just open
It
it,
is a
Hill?
legend. No, I didn't. Did you
Open
send me
it.
something?
I've sent you all something that I can't share publicly. That's why it's on single view.
I can't
No,
even look at it because
we can't alienate everyone like that.
I'll do it later.
They will see it
I'll
in the
do it
next
later.
Rapido newsletter, but not that picture.
Oh,
Okay. Wow. Okay.
right.
Zach, you take that back. You take that back.
Sorry for the
Bless
sneeze
you,
there.
James.
Thank you very much.
Bless you,
So,
James.
this is the part where we've gone through our things, and now we're going to ask you for your legends. Hilton, this is where you can share that comment if you so wish.
What comment?
Tom's comment.
Oh, Tim's comment. There you go. Tim Martial says an innovative hobby-changing logo for me is Hornby Picket. Saw so many people get into the hobby when that came out, and I couldn't agree with you more, Tom.
Yep.
The Hornby Picket is a
Completely agree.
fantastically detailed little logo. Sorry, Tim, my bad.
The Peckett was
agreed.
was what caused this massive influx on industrials, wasn't it? So
It was.
Matt.
I have 2.
I think that's really weird.
This was during my I buy everything phase, Dan. Don't judge me.
No, it's it's the way that you put your face really close to the camera, and you were like, "Yeah."
I have 2 of them.
I don't know what it is. Your camera just makes you look so much younger than you are, just constantly.
That's bloody rude.
Look so fresh faced
nice,
all
I
the
guess.
bloody time, and the rest of us,
It's just my
it
face,
must be
dude.
Completely
must
agree,
be the
Charlie.
weather down there.
Completely agree. It
Love
needs to
this
stay
one.
alive.
Charlie,
Absolutely.
every engine should come standard with a stay alive. Every single
Rob-
one.
So there's a
Rob's
there's
been
a
saying
reason.
it for a while.
There's a reason I didn't include that in the list of legends, because it's something that should just be a staple now. It shouldn't need to be, an innovation. It just needs to be standard.
Dan disagrees.
Because people because we right. So I'm talking from a consumer point of view, looking at a lot of threads, a lot of posts, all over social media. You see a lot of people complaining that they not complaining, but saying that they're automatically putting stay alives in to cover over dusty spots or whatever. Okay, yeah, you can say clean your track, but if the wider audience are just taking it and then doing it anyway, it just
Maybe
makes
clean your
sense to do
track,
it in the
though.
manufacturing process. I don't know.
You're missing a big point about keep alives, and the whole point is that they are only for DCC users because it's physically impossible for DC users. So
There you are, Tom.
get your pickups right first. B, some manufacturers are irresponsible with them because they make them last as long as possible. And effectively, when an engine is running on a keep alive and not on pickup, it's a runaway train. So that's why it's important when you set it up, you set a maximum time of a very, very short time. Even if the capacitance is allowing for a longer time, you set it to be short so you don't end up with a runaway train, because no one wants their models to just carry on through some buffers and off the end of their board.
Yep.
So
I agree with that.
So something like the Porta Par, I
feel like Tom would like that, though.
Only lasts about a second and a half.
That's just to get it over frogs, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll get you over point frogs absolutely fine, and it's seamless in operation. But if you literally put like post-it notes over your track, it will get over like 2 of them and stop, which is fine. That is what you need. Whereas I think some other manufacturers might have gone, oh, actually, we'll make it so it will carry on for 3 weeks, drive off the end of your board, down the stairs, and knock on next door neighbour's front door. And it's like, you don't want your models to do that. Yeah. Excuse me, I was set on speed step 12 and I've run out of space to run. Any chance of scooching across your carpet, Governor?
I don't know why that's funny.
Oh no, here we go. The rabbit hole has been found.
Hilton derailed that one.
How am I going to... Dave has a valid point. Then how am I going to recreate the scene from the Tipfill Thunderbolt with 1.5 seconds?
I don't know.
It needs at least a minimum of 30 seconds to get down the field through the...
So, to do Tipfill Thunderbolt, you need to actually have a tractor and then put the body over it. Now, what they did, this is a silly story. What they did is on the day they filmed it, because it was filmed like 40 miles outside London, the prop was made in West London and they had to drive it there. And they decided instead of putting it on a lorry to take it, it was just easier just to drive it because it was road legal. So they set off in the morning. And when the person who was tasked with driving it arrived at the film set, he said, "Oh, any problems?" And he goes, "Yeah, loads of cyclists kind of saw me as I was coming along the road and veered off and crashed into like into hedges and all sorts of things because they panicked. So that's why it's in the film. It wasn't originally scripted, but it was something that happened several times on the way to the set. So they added in the random cyclist who spots it and falls. Yeah. Inspired by real life.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
More legends. So Phil is saying Triang's rocket.
Yeah, I think I can see that. That's a good one.
The
actually.
mechanism. Yeah, I can see that.
For its size and age, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get that.
Although all the N-Gauge guys back then were like, big deal, whatever.
Phil also mentioned Firebox Glow as being an innovation as well. Brought a level of realism to it, so I completely understand that. 48DS. No, I'm not adding a cathedral to the smoke generator list, Aaron. Dave is saying steam generators in guards' vans for their little stoves and under wagons to simulate a hotbox.
Isn't that being done by Lionel?
Lionel. Oh, Lionel.
So where does
that was the most that is the most I saw that and I thought, what a crunk of shit that is.
That's just Lionel in a nutshell.
Where's RJ?
Stuff
RJ.
that we've seen
yeah, where is RJ?
Lionel's stuff is so wild. It is so off the walls, and the fact that they sell it for what they do is just nuts.
I kind of think of Lionel as like that is the model railway personification of Make America Great Again.
Yes.
Yes. It's like why can't we have all these nice models? Well, we make this. I used to run it around my Christmas tree when I was little.
Oh my god, it's so true.
But talking of American,
the most American. Oh my gosh.
Talking of American innovations, are you guys aware of the mooing cattle wagons?
There's mooing cattle wagons.
What
I've got one.
Really?
The Hornby one.
Oh no! There was an American manufacturer who made them in both N and HO, and they had sensors in the couplings, so they would moo an average amount. But if you rough shunted them, there was a sound of cattle like falling over and then going berserk and being really disgruntled.
Please send me a link to this.
And the thing is, it's like if you have a train of like 10 of them and then like hit it, they all go berserk.
I'm just imagining.
I think it was something like Broadway Limited Imports or something like that.
I kind of love that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm seeing all the tractor cows from Cars just falling over. Go. That's what I'm imagining. Send me a link to this. I need to see this.
And they attempted to.
Iron Horse did okay.
Sheep and goats and stuff as well. That was kind of horrific. It didn't work as well as the cows, but the cows were funny.
Wow, that's brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna check that out, Tim. Thank you.
We need Iron Horse on here, by the way.
We will sort that out. Don't worry. Rob is in charge of the schedule.
Hey?
Ow.
Oh no! Oh god!
You filled half.
That went horribly last week.
You filled half of it.
It's interesting. He says that about the sound project because that sound project I thought was so awful it made me go and innovate to end up with the Jones goods. I was like,
which Hilton says is a terrible sound profile.
Are we talking about the Hornby one?
No, the Rapido 15 being.
Oh, okay, no. I was going to say the Hornby one. Yeah.
Charlie's saying it's a good sound profile, and then Dan was digressing, saying, "Well, this was the one that made me go and make the Jones goods one better."
Good.
Which you said wasn't.
Me.
No, he was being sarcastic. He actually meant it was great. Watch Hilton's channel for God's sake.
No, I don't. Why should I?
Mouth.
Why should
it's
I?
Good.
He doesn't know what he's doing. Why would you watch his channel?
That's exactly
true.
No, okay, right. People who don't know what they're doing is a really good formula for a program. Have you ever heard of something called Top Gear? Really successful program for many years that
That's
had
fair.
three presenters who didn't know what they were doing. It's an excellent. Sorry, I've just outed you, haven't I, Hilton?
Yes, yes, you have.
We'll talk about this afterwards.
We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later.
Talk about this later.
Tim is saying the dock authority shunter.
Tim, I love it. James, good job.
I'm rolling with it. Don't worry. The dock authority shunter. I mean, it was I'm assuming this was a staple for a lot of people. I've never owned one, so I can't comment on it being legendary. But for personal preference, I understand. Thunderblade 989 says,
Thunderblade!
Says, love
Go on,
my
Bill.
Dapper Hawthorne, Leslie. I genuinely can't believe they're super high quality industrial loco for a reasonable price. I think that
I've
was
heard such good things.
that's one of the recent ones where there's been a lot of good things come out of it. So I completely get that. Dave says gem kits in general. I nominate George E. Miller as a legend. So we will get round to talking about legends of the hobby in case of actual people and influencers, people that have shaped the hobby. We'll get round to that later. And then
Should we have
last one,
Tom on for that?
we could have Tom on for that, or Tim.
Tim, do you wanna come
We
back?
could have Sam.
Sam, Emperor's Part Sam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And then last one, I feel like DCC Sam was a true game changer as well. Not a model, but it changed everything in terms of atmosphere. So I agree, it changed in terms of atmosphere, but I think if you haven't already, listen to Sam and James at MERP. They made some really good points for and against sound in certain settings. And I somewhat agreed. In exhibition settings, but I love sitting at my layout just listening to locos simmering over, and I'll stick it on the rolling road and listen to the chuff for a while. So yeah, I'll come on if Sam does. He's not even watching.
Wow.
He's a good little southern boy.
He's a good little southern boy. Well, there are more of us. So there you are. Plenty of legends to talk of. Although Aaron has mentioned something about a Bachmann 1012D, a great step towards 009 modeling in ready to run out form. Anyone agree with that? I don't know 009
Yeah,
modeling.
well, it was the first one they did.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, 009 modelers didn't have to go and try and cobble together some white metal nonsense onto a chassis that didn't quite fit. And they had something that actually looked like the prototype that they wanted to make. So it was game-changing for them.
Yeah. Or poor Percy. Poor Percy.
Poor Percy.
Yeah.
Butchered beyond belief.
There are so many bodies of Percy now in bins around the world that have been swapped out for narrow gauge locos.
I can honestly say my Percy is still a Percy.
Good.
For now.
James?
So, with that, we have gone through the innovations models, legends, if you have it.
And I have lots of faces for him.
Oh, don't get the faces out.
It's so creepy.
Tim's gonna be sat in his chair loving it. So, but we want to say you guys are the legends for sticking around for 2 hours and 8 minutes just listening to us talk absolute nutter bollocks. As
I've only been
usual,
here
which
now.
is fantastic. Yeah, but that's because you decided to ditch us.
You were lazy and
I was doing my bit to advance the hobby. I thank you very much.
But sitting down and eating a nice dinner.
Yes, with people from other
Our
parts of
sponsors.
Yeah, our sponsors. They make most of the slides for the news.
The news.
The
You
news.
missed.
He's literally the guy who makes the slides that Hilt pilfers every week.
Thanks, Jack.
When he
Appreciate
does
you.
these- Yep.
Yeah, we love you. Accepting sponsors.
Also, he's the one responsible for the James Gin wagon as well.
Is he really?
He is.
Well, I've got a bone to pick with him.
I thought you might.
No, it's a lovely wagon now that I have replaced axles. Anyway, if you want to continue the conversation, head over to our Discord. There is a link in the description. Phil will probably place another one before the end of the stream. Come and continue the conversation there if you aren't already. But just know that you're the legend. Rob wanted that in here. None of the rest of us didn't agree. I just did it because why not?
I didn't disagree.
Yes, you did.
I hearted his comment. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Oh, James.
Suspicious. So, the moment literally none of you have been waiting for. So, I decided to leave this to the end. Just, viewer retention, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because people want to see stupid memes about us.
Of course they do. Of course they do. That's what people live for. So, Matt sent in your Heather. Very purple. As I'm going to show you. I thought you'd like this one.
Oh, freaking hell, that's so good.
Which Heather is that?
And at this point, Heather Locklear, I think.
Yeah, some sitcom or something, I don't know.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. I freaking love it.
So I could just see it being added to Tom Marshall's stock, like literally, like Annie with her bags. But you have to paint it yourself.
So they are Matt. I think Matt might have left, but your meme is very much appreciated. Or memes.
Man.
So yes. Next. So, yep. Need to translate it to speak the same language. I'm not sure I get the reference to this. Maybe this is to Scotch Week. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
But
wait, what? 16,000 likes? Are you kidding me? No ways. Surely not. No one gets that reference.
Nobody's.
No ways.
More the drunkenness of Rob.
I love the detail. Memes with details in, just literally.
Damn.
Right? Is this true? Is this true though? 16,000 likes. Is this 100%
no ways.
true? Please
no
tell
ways.
me. I think it's fake news.
Right, we're moving swiftly on.
But mind you, 16,000 is feasible. I think that many people like Maud.
It's fake.
We got a video.
We have a few videos courtesy of Morwood.
Scotland!
We've obviously got better geared motors and things like that for crawling and moving at slower speeds, whereas Engage, to make them actually run properly, you have to whack up the throttle a fair bit, don't you? This is where Finder is going to kick off. Morwood is actually going to kick off as well.
Mr. Prime Minister, I with apologies to Prime Minister Erdogan.
1 minute.
1
minute. 1 minute.
Well,
1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute.
But I'm going to hold you to the 1 minute, please.
Damn.
I'll shut up then.
Damn. Damn. I love it.
Oh, I think it started stronger than it finished, but I love the point. Yeah.
There was a point given, and that's why I included it, because it was funny and there was a point to prove, and it was proven. So
low gauge locomotives have obviously got.
No, next one, please. There we are.
彼は被害者と同じ高校の同級生だそうです。彼の映像と佇まいに対して、彼が重要視した可能性が低いと被害者の関係があるという話を
You have to say that to start your next video now, Hill. You have to say, I'm proper lost instead of I'm proper chuffed.
I don't think.
And keep your meme platforms fired.
I honestly don't think that my 56 plus audience will get that, but I appreciate it.
No, stop.
It's good. It's good.
And then
Who
the
is
last
that? Who is that?
that was also Morwood. These are all
work,
three.
does he?
All the middle ones are more. All the video ones are Morwood, and I think this might be my favorite one.
Watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Have you done any modeling this week other than running in your ex? That sounds so
And now you see why I left these till last.
I want that. I'm gonna put that on my Instagram.
I will get that for you. Don't worry.
Oh, that is so good.
Let's see it again.
Have you done any modeling this week other than running in your ex?
Watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Have you done any modeling this week other than running in your ex? That sounds so wrong.
Oh dear.
I knew it was worth rushing back for that.
Oh my god, it was so
now
good.
You see,
it was
and
so
now you
good.
see why I left them till last.
Oh
wow! I think we need to have a meme of the year award at the end of the year.
Oh, don't worry. I'm saving all of these locally. All of them are being saved locally. So who wins this week?
Oh, Morwood by 100 miles with that last one.
Yeah. But I think we need to have a film festival stream where, like, the four of us go and make a short film. Like, literally a model railway related film of our own, and then we have to present it on the channel. And then we have a vote.
I'm down. I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
I'm gonna get a
It'd be like our Christmas special or something.
Stay Alive, and I'm just gonna do the scene from Titfield with, or just run on Stay Alive.
And the punchline will be it falling off the end of the board,
off the layout,
and then you kick like a bicycle over with your finger.
So there we have it. I thought we'd end on a good note, and I think that's a good note to end on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah.
There you are. So, if you have any memes from this week's stream or from any of our previous streams, send them over to each of us, not just me anymore. Send them over to each of us, any of us at all. We will review them. We will get them added on each week, and they will be reviewed at the end of every stream moving forward. Because you have to earn your right to see the memes.
You misspelled X, by the way.
I didn't type that, Hilton. This is what happens. We're both signed in on the same account.
It's fun. It's fun. Sorry, I didn't realize I was doing it until we were in it.
It's got 2 E's in it.
Oh, does it?
Seeing the X clip played on repeat at model shows across the country.
Dan is definitely having a meeting with HR tomorrow.
Just gonna walk in. So Dan, we saw this last night.
You know, I couldn't have done it without Rob. The fact that he can't find a yo, so he bought X instead.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well done. Well done.
Set me up, and delivered.
Rob, how's that vodka going, buddy? You good?
I finished it ages ago. I'm fine. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm doing all right, yes. Doing absolutely fine. You know.
I'm on the block of ice at the moment.
A block of Jesus frick!
It's so warm in this country.
It really is. It's like 30 degrees up here.
It's like Satan's armpit.
This is
okay. Guys, let's
It's been an absolute pleasure, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for this ending so chaotic stream for the last hour. Thank you, Dan, for joining a Watershed. It was a very pleasant surprise. I really have to say, it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So, right, we're going to roll it off with Rob. Where can people find you?
I can be found on YouTube and Instagram as the Kiln Line.
And he's
Damn,
got a
but-
new video. Go watch
He's
it.
got a new video. Go
Yes,
watch it. It was
New
actually
video
really
came out
good.
this morning.
He didn't.
Ooh,
He didn't cock up 3 times at least.
wow.
Dan, where can
Nice.
people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Pedantic Mongrels Model Railway. Well, no, Pedantic Models Railway channel, and then on Instagram, Pedantic Models, double O gauge modeling, and Pedantic Mongrels N-gauge modeling. But it's a lot to remember, so just go to the YouTube, and there's a link tree.
I'm gonna have to start
Hey.
putting the link tree in the description.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
the best thing to do.
Instead of just your channel, I'm just gonna have to put the link tree. Hilton, where can people find you, mate?
Proper chuffed on both Instagram and
Proper
YouTube.
lost.
Proper lost.
Proper lost. Rebrand. For sure, rebrand. Thank you
James?
very much. I don't know. You can think about. You can look at Instagram, the Little Western Model Railway, and the same again on YouTube as well. Might have something up.
Cool.
We'll see. Go check out my last video. It's terrible. Please
I haven't watched it yet.
don't.
That's why I
It's
haven't.
terrible.
Oh,
The last
You
time
did a double hitter.
No, so
Oh.
actually, Dan and I had a conversation about this. So I relaunched the King video because the audio was so quiet.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. And then you
And
did another one.
Just
Okay.
happened to have a video that was already scheduled to go live at 6 o'clock the same day. So there you go, twofer.
yeah.
Anyway, I hope we've been entertaining. I hope we haven't lost your support. Come watch us every week if you like to. Come and join the
Please come back next week. No, not next week, because none of us are here.
Well,
Please
actually,
come back in
this is
2 weeks.
This is something we need to do. We needed to say. We're not here next week, are we, lads? I'm not here for sure.
No.
No. we're
Dan
not
is
here.
off. Rob is off. Hilton's off. So we're not around next week. But we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
So,
And this
good
video
I'm
here
sure
and
you
here. Oh,
can't
wait,
wait
that's not me.
to see us again.
good news. You have 2 weeks to make video memes. Not,
Yes.
not. Yeah.
You've
yeah.
got 2 weeks. Look at that.
We're looking
See,
at you,
Matt-
Morwood.
Look. I'm looking at Matt. Matt threw some spicy ones last week. Everybody go to Tom's channel.
It's a good video. It's a very good video.
I'm on my way there now. Latest.
Ori says, "What will we do?" I don't know, Ori. Just continue your life because I feel like we're just
Have an early night or something.
yeah, just have a good rest, dude. Honestly,
enjoy your Thursday night.
If someone
Yeah.
feels that strongly about it, go through all the previous ones, get all the highlights together, make a highlight reel, and we can schedule it on the channel or something. I don't know.
Dan, no
Maybe.
one feels
we
that
won't
strongly
pay you
about it.
for it.
Yeah.
Bye, Tim
Right.
Marshall. Thank
Yes,
you.
bye, Tim. Right, so guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in. Well, these guys will see you in 2 weeks' time. I'll see you in 3.
We'll be in the Shunter's hut now.
Bye bye.
Shanta's Hut. Are people going to Shanta's Hut now?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
See
guys.
you later.
Bye.
Hey.